Okay guys, so today what we're going to look at is drawing the graph of a function, right? Specifically, we're going to look at drawing the graph of a linear function. So basically, a linear function is one in which the highest power of x is 1. Now when we have a power that is 1, we normally won't see a power attached, right? So for example, if we have 2 raised to the power 1, we won't see it written like that. Instead, we'll just see 2 by itself, right? So if we have the power of x being 1, we're just going to see a x with, it may have a 3 or it may have a 4 with it, right? But once the power is 1, you're not going to see anything written on top of there. Okay, so we have two examples. Example 1 is 3x plus 2. Notice we don't have a power written on top here, so it's understood that it's 1. So that's a linear function. This is another example of a linear function. There's no power written on top of here. It is understood that it's 1. We also have two non-examples, right? So these are two non-examples. Here we see an actual power, and it's not 1, it's 2. So that's a non-linear function. This one has a power of 3. Also, it will be a non-linear function. Right? So, okay, so the next thing we're going to do is actually try to do a question. So you'll see the steps that you need to take in order to draw the graph of a linear function. Now bear in mind that all linear functions will give you a straight line graph. If you don't get a straight line graph for a linear function, check over your working, something is wrong. Alright, so we have been asked to draw the graph of f of x is equal to 2x plus 1. So we know in graphs, the first thing we need are points. Right, so we're going to try to generate some points and then draw it. Normally with linear functions, all you need is 2 points. Okay, you could choose whatever your 2 points, whatever you want your your 2x values to be. Right, so to do that, I am going to draw a little table, which is where we're going to put our information. Now, you remember when we now started functions, we said f of x could be interchanged sometime, and they could write y instead of f of x, right? F of x or x. Sorry, they could write y instead of f of x, right? So we could rewrite this, so we could also write this as y is equal to 2x plus 1, right? Because f of x and y is the same thing. So we're going to put our x values on this top column. We're going to put our result for the y at the underneath row, sorry, not column. Right. So again, you're choosing what values you want here. Now, don't want to pick ridiculously large values, because you will have to draw a ridiculously large graph. But if you want to go through that, that's up to you. Once your working is correct, your answer will be correct. Alright, so I'm going to use two simple values. I'm going to use -1, and I'm going to use a 2 here, right? Okay, so I'm going to have 2 points. In one of my point, my x value is going to be -1, and in my next point, my x value is going to be 2, right? What I had to figure out is, because remember, our points must have 2 numbers. It was the next number coming here, right? Okay, to do that, what we're going to do is plug in or substitute -1 into this. So I'm going to write when x is equal to -1. Now this is my function here. I'm going to substitute -1 wherever I see x. So I'm going to get 2 by -1 plus 1. You can run that through a calculator or work it out. So 2 by -1 is -2 plus 1. -2 plus 1 is -1. Yeah, let me just double check that. -2. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so we're going to put it in here, -1. Right, so if you want, you can fill it out here. So we already got one of our points, -1, -1. So put it in that, right? We're going to work out the corresponding y value for when x is 2. So I'm going to work that out here because I can run out of space. When x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2x plus 1. Anyway, we see x, we're going to stick in a 2. Alright, so we're going to get 2 2s are 4 and 1 is 5. So I'm going to put in a 5 here and a 5 here. Right, so let me just go back a little bit. Alright, so it's the same information we have here and the same information we have here. Right, here we just have them in the table. Right, and we work out these values and then we put them in our point, like write it like our point would normally look with the two numbers next to each other. Right, again, this is your x, your y, x, your y. Alright, so we're gonna plot this on our graph. I actually drew my axis beforehand, so I just have to put in the points. I just went up to 6, I think was the biggest number, right? So let's see what we're going. So -1, -1. So -1 on the x-axis is here, -1 on the y is here. Alright, the next point is 2, 5. 2 is here on the x, and go up to 5. Okay, the next step now, I don't have a ruler, so this is going to be very awkward. You're going to take a ruler and connect these 2 points. So let me just pause the video and see if I find a ruler to connect those 2 points. Okay, so all I did was to get a straight edge and I joined my 2 points, right? And I drew a line. So now I'll label it. Y is equal to 2x plus 1. And that's it. Okay, so I'm going to send you guys some work so you could try drawing some linear functions. Remember, each question for this graph, drawing graphs of linear functions, you're going to be doing on a separate graph page. You can use the scale of 1 cm to 1 unit on each axis.